Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I wanted to take a look at what's coming up for August. Maybe we'll do week by week. Um, we're going to have that Mercury retrograde go direct around the 11th. So that'll cause some reviews, and maybe if you've had some difficulties through the phase of Mercury retrograde, since a week, the 17th of July. You get to readdress or address some of those issues, fix things if you have to fix things that are broken, but it could be a time that we can really start to go forward. Um, this week, it looks like there's a square between the sun and moon in Leo and moon in Scorpio. And then that's the first week. Second week, we'll have the full moon, and the week after that, the ending last quarter moon. So there's some lunar phases shifting, fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus. Um, and Mars is right now in Virgo with the South Node, and that's an important passage for the United States chart because Neptune in the United States chart is in Virgo if you follow astrology. So Virgo deals with purity and details and methods and service, and the natal placement of Neptune in the United States chart is in the ninth house of higher philosophy service, service to other foreign countries. But Neptune can make things not be what they appear, they're not what they appear to be. So there's always a lesson there in removing the veils of illusion, which we've had plenty of the last 10 years. When, as Neptune has been in Pisces, opposing that Neptune and Virgo in the United States chart in the third house of communications, which will rule like things like the internet and movies and that kind of communication industries. So there's been a lot of deception and a lot of misinformation. But now that Neptune's moved into Aries and sitting there with Aries in the fourth house United States chart, we're working with July 4th, 1776, 5:10 p.m. Tropical Placidus chart, Western astrology. It speaks to a time of rebuilding the foundations. Pluto is trining Uranus, so the outer planets really have a lot to do with what's happening in terms of fighting for justice, sticking up for ideals, positive ideals, healing some of this woundedness that America carries around racism and the thing with the removal of immigrants. So that's ongoing, but that's still going to be a number of years before, well, it'll be sometime within the next 16 and a half years as Pluto goes through Aquarius and starts making those aspects to the United States moon, which is at 27 Aquarius, conjunct Peleiothene, which is the asteroid that represents fighting, advocating, fighting for others' rights. So we still have a journey with that. Of course, America's only going to be 250 years old next year. All right, so that's a little bit of the astrology coming up. The big shift will be Mercury going direct in August. Let me check that in my ephemeris. For those of you that pay attention to astrology, the outer planets will still be going retrograde until probably October, November. But Uranus is going forward in Gemini, trining that Pluto. It's an important aspect this year for changes in our idealism, what we're going to fight for, justice. The have and have-nots, ongoing story of humanity. Okay. If you have any questions about the astrology, put it in the comments. And we'll post on the channel, on the community page on the post. I'll put the picture of the chart as we go through the United States chart, some of those aspects. But for now, let's just see what the cards have to say about August. I want to kind of do a general. There's always something going on with the politics these days. But there are other things going on, like gear changes and all the things that Trump has changed, EPA and NOAA, all the important systems that keep us safe. That says a lot. Let's look at the cards. First week, looks like some people are happy, feeling abundant, joyful. First week looks like it's good, positive energy. We have whatever strength we need to get through whatever's coming down the pike, so to speak. But again, this is a time where in the summer, kids go back to school, getting ready for a new beginning in September. With the Six of Cups, balancing our emotions, controlling any kind of rage or egoistic energies. First week looks positive that way. For August, not everything's going to be resolved. Here's a hangman. So if you're waiting to see something about Trump, Epstein, or the election, or the tariffs, not everything is being resolved. I think that tariff stuff is coming up mid-month. There is a new beginning, hopefully in our hearts, feeling more, turning away from the delusions, illusions, and moving towards joy, love, sharing, all the positive things that will build our spirituality again. And there'll be a sense of enthusiasm. So the first week looks pretty good. You know what that means? People riding to victory. I don't see any conflict here this first week, except things in suspension. And enjoying the fruits of your labor. Those of you who are on vacation, able to take a vacation, that's first week. There might be some who want to make decisions that first week with the sun square the moon in Scorpio. A positive aspect is that Jupiter is on the United States sun, so that's a good aspect for what we like: comfort, home, family, patriotism, things that the water sign Cancer rules, priorities. But I feel there's all these other changes in the air with the funding and all the cuts that Doge made and the big ugly bill that's coming up more next year. There's going to be anything about that. I don't know. Let's see what it says. Let's look at the second week. Second week has the full moon, building up towards that full moon energy. In August, yeah, it's going to be in Taurus. It'll be a really strong moon, 23 degrees Taurus, on the 15th and 16th. It depends on whether you're on the East Coast or West Coast. So Mercury will go direct on the 11th. It looks like the biggest shift, as we get used to this Saturn in Aries, Neptune in Aries, and Pluto trine Uranus. The urge to want to have some kind of new structure, new ideas, new structures, perhaps amendments to the Constitution or changes to the Constitution in this country. So first week in August, again, we're thinking USA, not the whole world. Though we all have interplay relations with one another, whether we like it or not. It's a big, big world. It's a whole world of humans, and animals, and trees, and mineral kingdom. What's happening in this second week? Well, here comes carrying a lot of burdens, so some kind of unregulated energy, meaning that whatever is too much will be released. Then there's a new beginning here, new ideas, a new energy, money being balanced. So, yeah, so the feds may not yet do anything about things. They're just trying to keep things balanced. There's a White House with a sense of security. Still the White House. And a lot of big change here with the Wheel of Fortune. And I just wonder what that means. Whether it means that there's a big change in the administration, because after the White House came up, whether it's the DOJ that changes, Bondi, and what's the other one, Dan Bongino, the FBI guy, Patel, those people are. Anyways, there's going to be a shift and a change, just generally speaking, at the White House. That's the second week. What about this full moon? It should bring a lot of things to light. Powers that be, control, some new order. Work hard on that second week. Well, people are going to be happy. Some people are going to be happy. Celebrations. But completion and new beginnings go hand in hand. So something ends and then something new will begin. We'll see what that is. That shifts and changes our destiny. That's a big one. Big shift and change in our destiny. The Nine of Wands, the Ace, the Two of Cups, the Four of Wands. The Destiny card, the Wheel of Fortune, the Magician, and the people rejoicing, families. So that's the second week. So something's going to happen that's changing our destiny. And the tarot's not specifying what right now. We'd have to do qualifying cards or something to get details. But just knowing what the general atmosphere is in the world, in the States, through the astrology, telling us that people want to move towards justice, to take the cap off of all the illusions, take the mask off the puppet holders, puppeteers. All right, third week. From the 18th to the 24th. Got the last quarter moon, actually. It's supposed to be right after the full moon. Oh, the 15 was the last quarter moon. Whoops, Mercury retrograde. The full moon is on the 9th, so I take that back. Full moon on the 9th at 17 Aquarius. Okay. Full moon on the 9th, and then the last quarter moon on the 15th. So the following week is a new moon on the 22nd. Could be a time of making decisions. Usually in the last quarter moon to the end of the moon, the last moon, tend to make decisions about our plans and projects. All right, so let's look at this third week from the 18th to the 24th. The new moon energy coming in Virgo and the sun shifting to Virgo, which makes me happy. I love the fall, especially in Arizona. So, if you live in Arizona, you know what I mean. But the sun enters Virgo on the 22nd, and we have the new moon, sun and moon in Virgo. New beginnings, clean up the gardens. Tend to details, a lot of analytical energy. The cards say we'll be dealing with some kind of disappointment that week. Some message will go out. It may be real, it may be false, it may be romancing messages about the good old days. Obviously, kids going back to school, but Six of Cups is like trying to regain that feeling of the security and the comfort of the old days. But I don't think that's really happening here. Not with the Three of Swords there. That talks about disappointments. People being disappointed about the messages that are being put out by whom? The government. Hierophant represents the government or organized religion. Some message coming about some major shift. Ethics, which is what this card represents. Hierophant, shift in our ethics. Our partners with others, other countries, other people, the lovers. And this is information about the lovers, whatever that means, partners. I don't know if it's the Epstein stuff and Maxwell and Trump and all that business, which is another distraction, I think. Keep people away from what's really happening. One big drama. That's a burden. There's that burden that showed up in the beginning of the second week. Yeah, so one more card. This is the third week of August. Yeah, some work to be done. Some kind of work being done here. The apprentice, the work, the crafts, getting back to work. Not sure who the burden is here, who's sharing that burden. Can I get a qualifier? Or just the people, government? Four of Swords. Somebody's career is ending. I'll put it that way. Maybe that's what ends the burden. It's two cards together. Interesting. Whatever is about to, if the current administration is about to get toppled. Some of us are hoping for a miracle. We'll see. Okay, and the last week of August, from the 25th to the 31st, we've got new moon energy. Just generally speaking, of course. What does that week look like? Sun Virgo time. What was this again? Okay. Sun in Virgo. Second quarter moon will be on the 30th. That's when with Mercury going direct by then, you should be able to move forward with your plans and projects. And let's see. Start off with time to think and evaluate. Major evaluation going on, seeking wisdom, higher counseling. Something about healing our wounds Being stabbed in the back, betrayals, anxieties. So last week doesn't look very good. I think people are stressed out mentally, is what it looks like to me. Again, we're speaking generally about the USA. And yet the star of hope shows up here. So we'll be illuminated about our suffering. A way towards healing will be shown with the hermit there. Okay, last week of August. So we kept getting the 10 of Cups in the first 2-3 weeks, and now we get the 10 of Pentacles, which is more about families that own and run things, like the GOPs type people, legacies, inheritances, legacies. Like the families that run. The world is run by families. And here's the Queen of Swords. She represents justice. A strong message comes out. And maybe there's something to do with why people are anxious and then need to heal. So there's this firm, strong message that's going to come out. Could be from a female, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra person, someone who works in the justice system, perhaps. And then there's this, the Knight of Pentacles, slow-moving energy, some kind of slow, steady gain. It could be a message about what we can look forward to, but the energy around this is not like, it's certainly not about the housing industry. Although that coupled with this family card, people wanting to own, maybe there'll be a message about the market, the housing market. This can be a card of real estate, but it can also be a card of, people being hired to do things. Good or bad, could be mercenaries, but for one, can get a qualifier on that Knight of Pentacles. Where is he going? Knight of Pentacles, the Fool. So there's no clear direction here. We really gotta find a clear direction to put us on a healing path of justice. The soldier going off to war again. More information about the wars, Gaza, Ukraine, and other parts of the world. I heard something like there's something like 188 wars going on. We just hear the big major ones. So what's August? Mixed bag. I think it'll be, because Jupiter will be in the United States Sun and natal Jupiter, there'll be some new energy for stability or security. I don't know if the Democrats are going to do anything about things, or maybe they'll put out a message, but let's quickly ask them where the Democrats stand right now, because they're lost in the desert as well. Well, they are working on a plan. Democrats. Working on a plan, working on what they're going to put their focus on for the 2026 election. Will be, that's good, happiness, breakthroughs, awareness, some kind of happy messages coming. And they are working on things. So it can also be the card where you feel like liberation. You've been feeling let down or held down or persecuted, or could even have to do information about the people that were extricated, removed from, deported or whatever, but the workers on the farms. Could be something, some new people employed or people employed again. Maybe things will definitely change in August towards the harvest time. Well, I hope that helps. Like and subscribe. It helps the channel. Leave a comment. It also helps the channel. And I thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a good day. Bye-bye.